Hi, I'm Aaron Thomas answering your questions about prenups. Today's question: isn't a prenup just a plan for divorce? This is probably the saddest misconception about prenups. I'm convinced it's a big reason why most couples don't even consider the idea of a prenup when they get married, despite the fact that most couples could benefit from one. Look, prenups have had a bad reputation for most of the time they've been around, and looking at them as a plan for divorce is a big reason why. Unfortunately, there are far too many lawyers out there who approach the prenup as simply that, a plan for a divorce. If you speak to a lawyer about getting a prenup and they describe it to you as a plan for your divorce, run. Get another lawyer. If your lawyer describes your prenup as a plan for divorce, they're going to draft you a document that does nothing for you in the present and will probably make your fiance angry in the process. They'll draft a document that literally just says, when you get divorced, my client keeps everything and you get pennies. These lawyers will also often advise you to give it to your fiance a few days before the wedding, so it's really too late for them to back out or get meaningful representation or have any kind of real negotiation over the terms. And even if it gets signed, these kinds of prenups leave a bad taste in the mouth of the person who is receiving the prenup. They feel like it was planned behind their back. They feel like they're being coerced into signing it, and that it's a document that benefits only the other spouse, usually the wealthier spouse. And starting off your marriage on that note is not a good look. This kind of scenario is a big reason why prenups have such a bad reputation. Some people get these divorce plan type prenups because they truly don't trust the person they're marrying. So let's make a distinction here. There's a difference between a prenup being a plan for divorce and a prenup providing terms for what happens in the event of a divorce, among other things. Let's use an analogy. Let's say you're going into business with a business partner and you're both investing money in the business. So you get a business partnership agreement drafted up. What kinds of things would you want to put into that agreement? You'd probably want it spelled out who's putting what money into the business, right? You'd probably want to discuss what each partner's job is in the business. You'd probably discuss profit sharing arrangements, right? You'd discuss what percentage of the business each partner owns, how to deal with financial losses of the business, right? It would include rules about how you'd manage the business itself. You'd have a method to make major decisions in the business. You'd want something in there about how to resolve disputes if you and your business partner don't agree on a decision that impacts the business. And yes, of course, a good business partnership agreement is going to spell out some of the rules for how to split things up if one of the business partners leaves the company, right? You wouldn't want to end up in an expensive court battle because one of the business partners wants to leave the company and you didn't put a plan in place how to manage that process, right? In other words, any good business partnership agreement is going to address how to dissolve the business. But it would be a horrible business partnership agreement if that's literally all it said, right? You'd probably want your business partnership agreement to cover how you run the business itself. You can probably see where I'm going here. Any good prenuptial agreement is going to spell out how to dissolve the marriage if things don't work out. But it's not a very good prenup if that's the only thing it says. And there's nothing in there about how to resolve the most common issues that arise during the marriage itself. I looked up an article on Forbes magazine about why business owners need a partnership agreement, and this is what it says. In the absence of a partnership agreement, your partnership's operation will be governed by your state's partnership laws. These laws offer a standardized approach to running a partnership and resolving common issues, but they're not customized to your business and can lead to results you didn't intend. Close quote. It's the exact same thing for your marriage. You aren't choosing between having a prenup and not having a prenup. You're choosing between the standard agreement under your state's marital laws, which could lead to unintended consequences, or having your own agreement drafted that has been customized to your particular situation. And in the same way that a good business partnership agreement provides rules about how to run the business itself and how to resolve common issues that arise in business ownership, a prenup should provide rules about how to run your marriage and deal with the common issues that arise in your marriage. Rules about spending, about how you fund your bank accounts. Are the assets and debts that are in one spouse's name treated differently than the assets and debts in joint names? Are the retirement accounts of the spouses shared assets or separate? Who's responsible for the student loans each spouse brought in? How are your accounts set up? Who has access to the joint cash? Do you need permission to spend over $1,000? These are questions that you should answer as part of your prenup process, questions that deal with the planning of your marriage, not the planning of your divorce. After all, the word prenuptial means pre-marriage, not pre-divorce. Want to know more about the benefits that can come from a well-written prenup? Visit us at prenups.com, where you can sign up for the completely free Happy Money, Happy Marriage video course and learn how laying the right financial foundation leads to happier marriages.